Peace and blessings, and welcome to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to fix your credit score and to get out of debt, by opening your wallet to receive money instead of paying bills, contact Transparent Credit Repair at www.transparentcreditrepair.com. Or you could call them at 862-250-5122. Tell them Heritage Hip Hop referred you and get something very special in your transaction. This episode comes to you not only by way of vibrating great energy, but patience. And we are on the interview today with Tiye Phoenix, a very accomplished musician and MC who is nominated for the Heritage Hip Hop Awards Project of the Year with her latest project, the Masters Program. What does it take to be a master? How do we master our craft? Well, check out this interview, and we'll come back with the rest of my commentary and a plug for something very special at the end of this interview.
Peace and blessings, everybody, and welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. Personally, I have on the line one of my favorite MCs that if you don't know about her, you're welcome. Because this is a songstress that heals the mind, heals the soul, and heals the ears. So I call her all woman, all amazing. We'll let her introduce herself. Please introduce yourself to the people.
Peace, everybody. Greetings. My name is Tiye Phoenix.
All right. Hey, we on the line with the Hall of Famer, Tiye Phoenix. And once again, it's a pleasure to get to talk to you because I wanted this interview for a while, you know? And usually when you start an interview, people ask, like, where you're from or what made you do music. I don't like to start the interviews off like that because you have a discography out and people can catch up. But I will give them this. You're from Baltimore and you're traveled throughout the East Coast region and made your sound. How did Baltimore fuse with your current territory and make you a great musician?
Wow. Well, Baltimore is a very, people don't usually say this when they are describing Baltimore, but growing up was a very warm city. I mean, there are very few cities like where you walk through the streets. Well, no, I won't say few, but there's cities where you walk through the streets and everybody speaks to you. Baltimore is one of those kind of cities, you know? And the things that Baltimore is known for, you know, just because of the popularity, you know, of certain shows like The Wire and things like that, you know. But to be honest, I mean, I felt like Baltimore was very warm, like I said, family-oriented. Baltimore was just, it allowed me to build myself in terms of just how I developed myself as a person from childhood on up. I didn't spend my early adulthood years in Baltimore. I've been living other places since, oh my goodness, I would say like in the mid-20s I left Baltimore, you know, when I graduated from school in Maryland, and I just kind of been gone ever since. Like everything has been like touch and go as far as, you know, my relationship with Maryland ever since. It's really been the tri-state of New York that has gotten my loyalty, my consistent loyalty since then, but I have lived in other places as well. I have to say that every place you go leaves an imprint on you. So I feel like I take, you know, I carry with me like the impressions of many different places. I lived in California for a while. I lived in Miami for a while. I lived different places, not that many, but definitely Baltimore being the foundation, and of course Jersey is second home, like first/second, second home. Jersey and Maryland have a lot of similarities, you know, to some degree.
Yeah, they do. They both have that edge. They both have their own particular sound, whether it's the club music or even, Maryland is more mixed into the pot with go-go music and stuff like that. But itself has its own edgy sound and its own identity that, like Jersey wants to be recognized and Baltimore wants to be recognized as well. The thing I ask you about Baltimore, though, is that your origins always set the precedent for the base of your personality or how you look at life. So how does your origin take you to your enlightenment when it comes to your music?
Well, the starting point is the beginning point.
Mm-hmm.
And where you begin sets the tone and the foundation for how you evolve going forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. There's a book called The Alchemist. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
The Alchemist is a classic book, which, speaks to the journey that a person takes on purpose and by accident. Because sometimes I'm in the middle of an interview. Sorry. You end up traveling different places when you learn different things and experience different things. And ultimately, you don't even, sometimes you say, I've set out, I'm heading out this way. This is my destination over here. This is my destination. And sometimes you end up traveling to different places that you didn't plan on traveling. But it all plays a role in the shaping of who you are, right? So recently I've had some situations come up in my life where Baltimore has resurfaced for business reasons, and I'm like, wow, this is almost kind of like a full circle thing. So where you start, I'm going to say, honestly, you have to, and I brought up The Alchemist because it's a very famous book. I would recommend anyone who wants to read books where they kind of just get a little more deeper understanding about life itself. I would recommend read The Alchemist. By Paul Coelho, the author. It's a classic book. You put in The Alchemist in your search engine, whatever, it's going to come right up. The thing is, you may not realize the role that your foundation has played, your starting point has played in your experiences as they've come about along your journey. You may not realize it until later, as you travel further and further on in life and you're living out your story. While your story's playing out, you may be reminded of experiences you had or things you learned at your origin, at your point of origin, like later on, So I must say that when I think about Baltimore and the role that it played in my personal evolution, which is still occurring, I'm not done yet. I have to just say family and foundation. That's it. Family,
Okay.
and what I learned in that experience. My family situation is a whole nother reality. I lost both my parents, my grandparents, my siblings. So it's kind of like growing up, everyone who raised me. So it's like if you look at a picture from your childhood and be like, oh, this is when we had Christmas when I was 8 years old, or this is when we were sitting at the table for Thanksgiving. So everybody who's in those pictures with me is gone. Like everybody. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about my foundation in Maryland or in Baltimore, there's a lot of layers that come with it, as you can imagine. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Which I'm not even really ready to talk about fully, to be honest with you. So.
No, it's okay, because that's part of the book that you're writing in your life right now. We just have to be honored to be part of your chapters. And when it comes to foundation and where you come from, that's an important part of your story when it comes to your rhymes. My introduction to you was a conversation about you and about the artifacts, because you did a song with Ella Sensei. And Half Woman, Half Amazing is the name of the project. And when I listen to you, you have a lot of messages behind your lyrics. See, most people rhyme to make sense or rhyme to make a bar. It seemed like you were rhyming in patterns to teach lessons. Was that always what your style has been, or how did you grow to that teacher mentality in your marksmanship?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you for observing that. Not everyone who's talked to me about my music makes that observation, or at least they don't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting that you describe it like that. I honestly feel like my artistic expression has been a divine instruction. Like, I go with what I feel I'm told. I can, I feel like I listen to music that I've made, and then I go back and listen, and I observe things that happen in the world or that are unfolding in the world. I'm like, I already said that. I said that. Like, I talked about that, like, a long time ago, So, yeah, I do. You definitely, as an observer of my music, you say there's a teaching element. There's messages. There are. I don't believe I have empty raps, and I'm very conscious of messages because I'm always aware of the fact that there's repercussions to speaking messages. There's repercussions on an energetic level to speaking messages. So, and when you're free to say what you want to say, meaning that you're not hired by other people to say certain things, because if you don't think that's what happens in music, you are sadly mistaken. People are definitely, yes, they are definitely instructed, paid, and put up to a specific job to elicit certain messages and certain philosophies and ideas to people. That is a fact. That is not, and I know this word is being used a lot these days, but it's not a conspiracy. It is definitely a fact. So I'm free, and I've been free to say what I want to say. So
yeah, that's what I love about you. I've always loved that about you because I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I love about you because, see, this is me. I've always, like, any woman that does music is like the most beautiful thing in the world to me, and I'm my eyesight, because you show the courage to be you without a restriction. But the thing that makes the artist or the art memorable is when you walk away with something, and that's what I got from you, especially when I hear bars like. You said something like I heal men with my written pen or something like that. I heal broken men with my written pen. You know what I'm talking about? You have certain.
Yes. Broken. When I stroke a pen, I heal broken men.
That one. See, little things like that go a long way because then it makes you sit down and go, wow, she's healing people and don't even know how much healing that she's giving. And you go metaphysical in your teaching and your rhymes as well. Since it's being it's divine, what voice do you hear that instructs you, and how do you move on it when you produce?
What I hear, it's funny. It's really interesting. These questions are crazy. Some people, like, when they say, okay, God said to me, and they say, oh, really? Well, what does it sound like? Okay, wait, well, when you talk about, okay, what do you say back? Like, what does it sound like? Do you hear Morgan Freeman's voice? Like, what voice do you hear? Sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, I hear my voice usually, but it depends on what the message is. It depends on when I'm channeling it, how I'm channeling it. But, and you know, I hear it's all instruction. It's all channeled. You know, that's really the best way I can describe it.
No, that's fine, because I wanted to talk to you about, I really wanted to really talk to you because certain things that you say and that you put out really holds meaning for me. I don't want to be long-winded, but I'm going to tell you what I mean. I personally believe that hip-hop is God. That's it. I don't think it's nothing deep. I don't think it's nothing crazy. I just look at the connections that we have between music and our spiritual nature. So when people say the heart is, the drum is the heart of the beat, it's funny how our heart beats and it gives the rhythm to our body. I find it illuminating how harmony is the conjoining of sounds that makes one purpose. And we have systems in our body, whether they're respiratory, endocrine, reproductive, whatever. And when they work together, our body's in harmony, which means we have good health. You know, I find it amazing that on our journey in life, we take steps. And when we write music to hear and to create a sound, to journey through the feeling of sound, we write our notes on steps. So music is very synonymous with how we live our life, whether we know it consciously or subconsciously. When you tap into that spiritualness in music, not only are you a teacher, you're a healer, and you're also a prophet or a poet that's given life meaning and meaning in music. What does it mean to create music, and what does it mean to give messages in your music?
I feel like when you decide to share ideas, and more than ideas, but suggestions on reality, like you're giving people perspective, giving people different angles that they may not see with their own eyes. I feel like that's a responsibility, more than a hobby or a job, like a responsibility, because you can keep your thoughts to yourself. You can share them with a small group of people. But when you say, I want everybody to know this, or everybody believes this, because this is what people have believed for thousands of years, or this is what people subscribe to in large numbers, but I got a different viewpoint, and I'm going to share it. I want it to go out, you know, into the ethers. When you do that, you have you have to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be responsible. It's the same thing as if you was cooking a meal and you're pouring various ingredients, you know, to create, you know, that recipe, to manifest, you know, the food out of that recipe. You're conscious of those ingredients because people are going to partake of what you create, the meal that you create. So you got to make sure, you know, that people, when they partake, they're like, wow, you know, this is great. I'm digesting this and I'm enjoying this. I'm being nourished from this. You have to be conscious in the same way as when you go to sit down at a restaurant, whatever the chef is doing in the kitchen, and they're conscious of whatever they create, and they send it out on a plate to you. They're conscious of that. They don't want you to be like, what the hell is this? Or have you call the next day saying, I was sick all night. What y'all doing in that kitchen? Same
Right.
thing when we deal with what we're internalizing mentally, what we're internalizing spiritually, same emotionally, same principle, same premise. So it's more than, well, I feel like people should hear this because egoically I need to be heard. It's deeper than that. Like it's, well, I'm leaving an imprint on somebody. If somebody ingests this, somebody receives this, I'm leaving my imprint. You got to be able to sleep at night soundly and wake up in the morning comfortably when you think about whatever that imprint is on that microphone or coming out of the speakers in the studio, unless you just going to play it over and over again in your headphones and listen to it by yourself. And it's not about what you're going to give out to other people.
I like how you said that, because when I listen to the song Too Deep, even with everything you said, as an artist, you still got to be dope. You know what I'm saying? And you punched that ticket and you excelled. I even like the fact in the song how you said it's not Nas or Ghostface, it's Barry White, which means you're paying homage, you're going back to the original to show that you're not taking from somebody who did it. You're taking from the initial and giving your translation of what you got from that inspiration. What inspires you to stay connected and not walk away from that gift?
Well, I do think it's important to acknowledge, like I said, the foundation for you, especially music history.
Mm-hmm.
Once you are aware of the history and foundation and how a lot of music has come to be, you get a greater understanding of just music as an art. Because a lot of people do music because it's the thing to do. They're interested in it personally for numerous reasons. They grew up listening to it, but how many people study music like as an art and a science? You know, at the end of the day, I don't care what type of music you're making, the definition isn't changing. It's rhythm, harmony, improvisation, melody. That's not changing. So regardless of whatever you want to say on the mic, whatever beats you select for the music you do, how much do you know about the science of melody? How much do you know about the science of improvisation? How much do you know about the science of harmony? How much do you know about rhythm? How much do you know about winds versus strings versus, you know, like what role do they play in music? Like what is the difference if I have a clarinet in a song versus me having a viola in a song? What's the two different roles that those instruments play, and what is the impact that those instruments are going to have on that song? Like, what's the difference? Like,
you showing your producer hat right there.
well, that's even not. You know what the funny thing is? Even if you're not a composer, when you make music, you're not a producer. Even if you're a songwriter, you still have to know that.
That's true. That's true.
You still got to know that. Even if you rap and you don't write melodies, we're still writing melodies though, because it's rhythm and poetry. So still got to be harmonious and in sync with the music. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if you're a vocalist. It doesn't matter if you play the saxophone. It doesn't matter if you just, you know, make beats on software all day. You still have to understand rhythm, melody, improvisation, harmony, wind, strings, brass. You know, you got to know the role that it all plays.
Fact.
It's like, you know, oh, I want this song. I want people to feel like this when they hear this song. I want people to be angry when they hear this song. I want people to feel like this song is thought provoking, like I'm encouraging them to think about something. There's specific sounds and tones and melodies and beats per minute that go into you achieving that goal.
Right.
So the more you know, the more effectively you're able to do that.
So let's talk about what you know then, because the thing that makes you stand so far above so many to me is the lessons that you teach in your music and even when you do your commentary, because you go into metaphysics, you go into nodes, we're talking about chakras and all of those things. How does the knowledge of that make you a better MC, and why do you put it in your music in your personal life?
I just mirror what is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's artists who are great that don't incorporate metaphysics or the understanding of life on different levels. Like, they don't add that to their music, and you know, they're artistically credible. I just mirror myself in my music and the things that are important to me, and I feel like the things that should be important to other people. If they don't agree, that's fine. But I feel like there are a lot of important pieces of information out there that can be life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have an opportunity to share it, I will.
I think that's meaningful because I think a lot of us, especially the newer generation, and I don't down them, but I do critique. I think a lot of us are not learning. We're just following a trend or a pattern. We're not even trend setting. We're fad setting. We're following fads into our doom. A lot of people talk about chasing the bag when not understanding that they're the bag that's being chased. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And even on a higher level, even on a higher level, knowledge of self and knowledge of the universe is what keeps you grounded and focused. And you once talked about in one of your interviews about listening to Tupac or having the same like star chart, I think it was, of Tupac and Left Eye. And you knowing that, I was like, I wish she could do that for me. I would love to sit down and hear her talk about that. I ask you this I ask you this on a high level. This is, I mean, like the highest level I could possibly get, but on a high level, let me ask you this. If life is made out of numbers, whether we count beats, megahertz, drum patterns, whatever, even the steps or breaths that we take in life, what do you think it is that we miss when we're putting our total life in perspective in our creation, our art, and in our journey through wisdom?
What are we putting into life in our journey?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that comprises who we are, good, bad, and different, neither, good, bad, neither, and everything in between.
Okay. That's deep right there, because a lot of people are just living because they can and not living because they want to. You know? Have you experienced that?
You said a lot of people are living
just because they can. They're not living because they want to. It's like they're just going with the flow, but not really looking for their purpose or trying to fulfill it. They're just going with the days, it seems.
Existing.
Yes, they just exist, but not trying to find their purpose. I mean, it's one thing to live, and it's another thing to live purposefully. And a lot of people, and I've talked to people, and I've talked to some folks, young and old, and they're like, I'm still trying to find my purpose, but they're not really putting into life. They're waiting for life to happen.
You know, you do have to play an active role in how your life unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there may be times where inactivity is the best activity. It depends. You just fall into a space of surrender and say, I'm going to just live and trust and allow life to reveal to me what it is I need to know and understand. And you may just, this varies, you know, for different people, because it depends on where you are mentally, where you are emotionally, where you are spiritually. But sometimes, this is what I would suggest. If you are unclear about, why am I here? Am I just taking up space? What is the reason why I'm here every day, every moment of every day? I need to have clarity regarding my purpose, the meaning of life as it pertains specifically to me. That is a journey. And you may have various experiences where the answers unfold gradually over time. You just have to listen. You have to be obedient, and you have to trust. See, it all relates to your relationship to life itself, to the universe itself. If you know that you wouldn't exist if there were no purpose attached to your being, you would not be here. The universe is wise. The earth is sentient, is a sentient being that knows with whom it connects and with whom it's aligned. If you move in that vibration, everything that comes to you will be a key component and a puzzle piece in the larger framework of you connecting to your inner truth. I just posted on my stories, I was in an Uber. Mm-hmm. And me being an astrologer, and like you said, metaphysics is very much important to me. And understanding metaphysics, because everything is energy. Everything is energy. So the more you understand energy, frequency, and vibration, you understand everything else. And it's an ongoing understanding. It's not like, oh, I understand it, I'm done. No, it's like continual, ongoing, repetitious, expanding understanding. You know? So, expanding understanding. Bars. No, but I just put in my story how I was in Uber. Okay? And the Uber driver started talking to me basically about ancient Egyptian philosophy, relates to cymatics, which is music that is on a 520 hertz, which is the same frequency. We just started talking about astrotheology. Now, how do you get in an Uber? And the Uber driver just happens to be knowledgeable about those subjects, and it's related to what I do as an astrologer, or just it's related to, like you said, just concepts that are meaningful to me. How does that happen? Because synchronicity is always at work. Energy always begets energy. You gotta, now I will say this, people have been talking about 3D, 4D, 5D, like the dimensions. You have to vibrate, and I'm being called to give this message right now. You have to vibrate higher. It's not even an option like, oh, only for those who take yoga class, or only for those who, you know, care about reading these type books. No, you have to vibrate higher at this point, because you are on a planet where the vibration is steadily increasing, and it's been increasing for quite some time. So you have to make sure you are flowing in sync with the vibrational frequency of the planet. That will make a difference in everything, from your health to what materializes and unfolds from day to day in your life. Just like I told you, like that experience in the Uber. I'm talking about cymatics and and the Ka and the Ba, and we're talking about, you know, the Egyptian soul and Ka and the Ba. We're talking about all this stuff. Like with an Uber driver, how do I magnetize that? There's something that I needed in that experience, something that, you know, which I was flowing with. Okay? And that let me know, like, wow, you know, I'm 5D'ing it out here. You know, when people, and this is just what I believe. I got to speak what I believe in this interview. So other people may have their perspective, and that's fine. But the higher you vibrate, there's certain things that will not reach you, because you're on a frequency that those particular experiences, those particular issues or illnesses or whatever, they can't reach you. Right. I'm saying all of that, you know, COVID, 5G, all of this stuff that people talk, a lot of that is vibrational. Now that will not be discussed in mainstream media, but I'm gonna say this as well, and I got in a little trouble saying this recently. Mainstream media can't be your only and primary source of knowledge. Excuse me, information, not knowledge. Information, because information is just a body of data. Knowledge is information you can use. Right. Different things. So, at the end of the day, it cannot be at this point in 2020 and beyond, mainstream media cannot be if you want to learn how to really be more synchronous with your environment, be more synchronous with the planet. You want to learn how to float out here, you know, float, like elevate. You cannot rely upon traditional, mainstream, outdated, false sources of media and information. You've got to go and inform yourself, however that plays out for you. Because when you say, I'm seeking, just like I was in the Uber with that driver. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Facts. That's facts.
So there's nothing that you will need to know that the universe will not share with you or expose to you, reveal to you, if you are sincerely ready and receptive. There is nothing. So it's not, well, if I don't watch this channel and I don't watch this news show, how am I supposed to get my information? You put the request out there from the heart. I need to know. Show me. Like, people don't know I don't know what to believe. Well, it's not about what you believe anyway. It's about what you know. Two different things. So if you have a desire, a sincere desire, commitment to know, it will not evade you. I promise.
I like how you put that, because that's a perfect segue to your new project, the Master's Program. Right? And to be a master means you have to put in time, you have to put in effort, and more so, it's trial and error. A lot of learning, people think, comes from a book, and you just memorize, and then because you can regurgitate the same thing that you memorized, you study or you learned, when that's not studying or learning. Learning is an application to which of something that you've heard used, and now you've used it, and you have the experience to take you to the next lesson. Why did you title that on the project, the Master's Program, and what did you want to show the listener in your elevation through your music from the last project?
The Master's Program has multiple meanings. Number one, I just completed the Master's Program at New York University. I completed the Master's Program. So it was one meaning. Two, master numbers like 11, 22, 33, 44, those are called master numbers because you don't break them down. So like if you have 24, in numerology, you break 24 down to 6. You condense it because 2 plus 4 is 6. In numerology, if you have 22 or 11, you don't condense them. You leave them exactly as they are. So 11 doesn't become 2 where you say 1 plus 1. 1 and 1. You leave it 11. So I have nothing but master numbers on my birth certificate. From the time of birth to the age of my parents that's on the birth certificate. When you add their birthdays up, you get master numbers. When you add my life path number, when you add up my entire birthday, you get 11. So the Master's Program, again, is a literal program that I just graduated from. Counseling. Guidance and counseling. That was the master's degree. Shout out to NYU. Purple and gold. All right. And literally, master numbers, work like a slave to become a master, what have you. It's like, even though, I don't identify with slave mentality mindset at all, but definitely, there's layers to it. Mastery meaning a certain level of achievement after you paid a certain amount of dues and attained a certain level of growth. Mastery, it has so many different meanings to it, and I just want to thank you for listening to the project. I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, the project's very special to me, not as a fan, or I'm not really anybody's fan, but not as a lover of the music. There's so much more to it. The first single that I've heard from it was the Kill Bill 3 with Queen Heroine and Star, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
That's one of the funniest yet visually provocative videos I've seen in a long time. And visually provocative because there seems to be meanings in the background as well as in the foreground of the video. What was Kill Bill representing, and how did that song come together?
Well, shout out to Queen Heroine and Star. Not only great artists, beautiful people, that's important too. Being a great person, and a great artist doesn't always come together, But in that case, with those two women, definitely. Kill Bill was one of my favorite movies. Beyond it being a typical chick flick, one of the most, classic chick flicks, the the message. Somebody thinks they leave you for dead, and you come back and kill everybody. Can't beat that message, you know? That's the message of Kill Bill. And there was a Kill Bill 1 and 2. There's no 3 that has been made, no third installment that has been made or released as of yet. But I was like, oh, Kill Bill 3, 3 MCs. Boom. It was just that simple. And it was a woman, you know, women fighting, da-da-da, you know. So I was like, it was just no-brainer. It was, I don't know, it was just one of those things that just came to me. I was like, when the concept came to me, I was like, this is great. Kill Bill 3, I can't, I mean, I literally was stunned when the idea came to me because I was like, this is great. Like, this, you know what I mean? Like, and even the hook in the song that I wrote, like, where I was like, that's the sound of your karma coming. She's a bitch, can't run from her. Deadly with the rhymes when we penning them. Still ill, Kill Bill, finish him. Like, that's the whole concept of the movie. Deadly, you know, that's the sound of your karma coming. Like, because, you know, there's a sound, it's a beat, you know, but just, that's what the whole concept of Kill Bill, again, is about, karmic retribution. Karmic retribution. So, I remember when we released the video, we released it like on my mom's birthday, and I think it was a couple days after Star's mom had passed away. It was like there's some interesting sort of like dates that happened or whatever, but you know, Kill Bill, pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is dope. I mean, even from the graffiti on the wall, they have the chubby faced king who's yelling. You have the queen in the middle who looks like she's instructing, and you have the person of youth with the crown on, and it was 3 different signs of majesty in it as well. It was bugged out visually. It really hit me a certain way, and I was like, okay, this is not just a song. It's art, you know. Even with the captive escaping, all art. It all meant something. So it kind of hit me, you know. And then even in listening to the project, the valedictorian speech, I made it, I did it, and I'm the best at what I did. And then we go into the track titles like Mastery. You talked about what Mastery is, but what about Thankful? What does the song Thankful mean to you?
Thankful. It's a great vibe. Just allowing me to express gratitude. Shout to Chanel Gabriel, beautiful singer. Shout to DJ Static who produced it. The song Thankful, it's emotional, it's soulful, and it's just real straightforward. If you listen to it, like the energy is very straightforward, very poignant, you know, very autobiographical, personal. But again, the vibe is just smooth, like. So it just allowed me to, when I heard it, that was just the first. See, when you hear beats, sometimes you just allow the beat to tell you what the song is about. So when I was like, oh yeah, Thankful, just writing that hook too. You know, I had to learn a lesson. Every day was a blessing. Something that I can't do. Look at what I came through. I mean, who can't relate to that?
Yeah. That's a true message. Who can't be thankful at some time, or take the time just to say thank you? Another track that kind of hit my heart was Exalted. Why did you make that song? What was the message you were giving us in that song?
No matter what, you stay high, elevated. That's it.
Elevation is the key. Elevation is the key to life because we cannot stay the same. Even if they call us hypocrites, you can be low at one time in your life and change your mind and change your viewpoint on things because now you've excelled, you've grown, you know? And that's the key, and that's the key to hip hop that I think people don't appreciate. Whether you agree with the times or you don't, it's constantly elevating because it's bringing the next generation to a point where they have to make their own decisions and they have to grow up. How did hip hop help grow you, and where do you want to nurture it in the future?
Hip hop has helped me grow because a large majority of the experiences that I've had over the past few decades has been due to hip hop, about culture, the music and culture of hip hop. Hip hop allowed me to expand my vocabulary. Hip hop allowed me to expand my understanding of various concepts and encouraging me to read, because that's how you broaden your mindset and download different ideas and perspectives. Reading is so important, you know, in the art of writing. Reading and writing kind of go together. So hip hop has allowed me to understand people better. It's allowed me to, I mean, I don't really make a distinction between what I've learned and, you know, about my growth in my spirituality, what I've learned, the growth in my creativity, my growth in my character as a person, and then my growth as an artist. It's all been working hand in hand. They all been like symbiotically relating to one another. And hip hop plays a role in all of that. All of that.
So hip hop is the growing point of sound and experience. And on the line right now we have the doctor, the master herself, Miss Tiye Phoenix. Please give everybody your social media and how they can follow you and listen to your projects.
Okay. You can hit me up on Instagram /Tiye Phoenix, Facebook /Tiye Phoenix. I mean, it's the same. Like, it's /TIYEPHOENIX, website launching soon. We'll have some information. So if you stay in contact with me through my social media, you'll see information about that. You know, Bandcamp, TiyePhoenix.bandcamp.com. We got the new EP called The Glow coming out. The Glow, post-apocalyptic shining.
Whoa,
you know,
okay.
No matter if the world is crumbling, we rising. You feel me? The Glow. We got some nice joints on that. So just stay in tune, stay, you know, aware about just watching my social media. I'll keep everything updated. And the master's program is already out there. If you haven't heard it or you haven't gotten a copy, iTunes, all your favorite, whatever your preference as far as a digital platform of choice, it's out there.
All right. So for everybody out there who doesn't know who Tiye Phoenix is, please take my advice. It's hard to get a cosign from me, but this is one artist that I cosign. Go out there and stream her music. But if you really love what you hear, buy the music. Because if the grid went down today and there was no more phones and no more computers, guess what? If you didn't buy your music, you don't own your music. So do yourself a favor and get this great music and own it. Spend the $1, spend the 10, spend the 7 on Bandcamp or whatever it is. Go ahead and get it and make sure you support good artists, because by sewing into them, not only do you help build their platform, but you allow yourself more music and you show them that love. You agree?
Absolutely. You said that perfectly. And I just also want to salute you on what you're doing. Like I said, not only for just Jersey hip-hop, but hip-hop culture and music and culture as a whole. Your commitment is unbridled. Your commitment. You know, I love it. I love your passion. So salute to you, Caress.
Thank you very much. And to let the cat out of the bag, Miss Tiye Phoenix, it is my pleasure to tell you that unfortunately we didn't get to put the stuff out today, but the Master's Program is a nomination for Project of the Year for the Heritage Hip Hop Awards. So congratulations.
Oh, wow, thank you. That is such good news. Oh,
yeah, I wanted to put the stuff out, but we're not ready yet. August 29th is the Heritage Hip Hop Awards. It'll be on YouTube, I believe, and definitely you can stream it on the website, www.heritagehiphop.com. Everybody out there is going to be listening to this. And by the time this comes out, I believe this will be out before the award show, so make sure you stay tuned because it's coming. And when it gets here, you'll see not only how we celebrate our culture, but it ain't about the winner. It's about being recognized. So you, the hip-hop heritage, the culture of hip-hop, can acknowledge those and support those that represent you. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you so much.
Oh, no doubt. So with that being said, it's time for the rapid-fire questions. You ready for the rapid-fire?
Oh.
Yeah, so the rapid fire questions are not yes, no questions. These are questions about you, the artist, that show your depth in your creativity. We don't care about who's sexy or who got the dopest beat, whatever. We don't care. We care about you, and we want to bring you to the forefront so when people hear you, they want to hear more of you. You ready?
Yes.
Out of your experience of life, this is the first question. What song or album perfectly describes your life? And it's music made by another artist, not yourself.
Wow. I'm just, okay, Sade, Diamond Life. Oh, wow. Sade, Diamond Life. That's way classic, but
Sade?
this is rapid fire, so I'm just going with what I hear in my mind, okay?
Okay, Sade, okay. My next question is more spiritual than musical. People say that they can't be perfect, and I tell people that you're lying. You can always be perfect, because perfect to me does not mean flawless. It means balanced, right? And we have so many words in our vocabulary that mean something or many things, and people just pick what they want. What is the most meaningful word you learned and that you put into your life?
Majestic.
Majestic. Explain.
You said this was like stream of conscious, like like kind of like on Family Feud when they're in their final round, they like name us such and such, like got to go in the moment. I thought that was what I had to do, like speak in the moment. Like that's the word that came to my mind without me thinking or analyzing. Because normally I analyze, but when I'm just going and it's spontaneous, that's the word that came to me, just impulsively. Majestic, meaning that life, the beauty and the awe and the splendor of life. That's what when I think of the word majestic, that's what I think of, beauty, awe, and splendor.
I'm with it. That was dope. Here's my next question. As a hip-hop purist, there are certain pillars in our community that matter that have been lost, like the remix. And for everybody who doesn't know, what you should know by now, because you've been following Heritage Hip-Hop, the remix is where we either change the beat or added people to a song to give the song a longer life. I want to ask Tiye Phoenix, what is the greatest remix ever made?
Oh, gosh. Who shot you? But that's just what came on the top of my mind. Like,
okay, that's great. Look, it's great.
But in terms of the body of music that I have in my mental musical Rolodex, if I thought about it, I would come up with a different answer. Not to say that Who Shot You is not a great remix, but that's, again, my impulsive answer.
That's where you at right now. Look, there's no wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it back to hip hop though. Doing a song with somebody is a major step because it shows that you have the respect of other MCs and they want to work with you. Like I said, you did a song with the Artifacts. That's my favorite New Jersey hip hop group. You did a song with Fonte, one of my favorite when it comes to hip hop. Shout out to Little Brother and Fonte. But in doing songs, there are times when a feature artist can get on the main artist track and outdo them. That guest 16 will kill the song. Tell me, what's the greatest feature or guest 16 in hip-hop history to you?
Greatest 16.
From a guest artist, yes.
The greatest one, I can't even say. I can't even think of impulsively. Like I know people have done 16s, but I can't even answer that question. I'm sorry. Because the greatest one, no. Because I'll listen to this interview and give an answer, and a week later I'll be like, why did I say that? That was not the greatest.
That's the best part of the interview. Because it's in the moment. It's in the moment. There's no wrong answer. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. Little Kim on the Benjamins.
Okay. Great answer. Great answer. That's really a great answer. You're the first person ever said that. And that's cool. Salute to you. My next question. I think females and women in hip hop are the unappreciated gold or silver that makes hip hop last. What does that mean to you, and how do you feel about that?
A nation can rise no higher than its woman. The woman is the foundation. So women are making the situation go round. making the world of hip hop go round. It's just even becoming more obvious and apparent now in present times. But that's always been the case because, you know, that's a Elijah Muhammad saying, a nation rises no higher than its woman, meaning that the mother is the first teacher. So as smart as the mother is, that's how smart the child or the rest of the community is going to be. It's a reflection of the intelligence of the woman. So that's how I would respond to that question. Like, women have a very big role and impact on everything, the domino effect.
Nice. What is the most important song that hip-hop has not made yet that you're waiting to hear?
The songs I just made on my EP.
All right, there you go. Plug, y'all. You got to get that music. Whether it's the Masters program or the Glow, make sure you go get that music because it's worth it. I like how you did that. Salute. Next question. What is the song that's most meaningful for you to make? The song out of pain or the song out of joy?
It's the same.
You're the first person who ever said that. Why?
Because they're related.
Pain and joy is relative?
Two different expressions on the same continuum. Two different extremes on the same continuum. If you gotta, if the pendulum is swinging one way, it can't stay up that way. It's got to swing the other way. I don't care whether you on top of the world. It's going to swing back the other way. And even if you want to having the worst time of your life, it can't stay that way. The only thing constant is change. I'm not saying that joy and pain feel the same, but just always try to be in the middle. Try to be in the middle. That way you have an equal appreciation and equal relationship with both extremes.
Wow, that's deep.
Don't take the pain too personal and don't let the joy go to your head.
Facts. My next question is, wow, you just blew my mind. The next question is, you work with artists already, like I said, but if you could make your dream song, who would you like to work with, dead or alive, no restrictions?
The first person that came to my head was Bob Marley.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that's just what came to my head. Marvin Gaye. They dead, though.
It's all good, though. No, it's fine.
I mean, there's other people, too, living, you know.
Okay. They're a producer that you would like to work with?
Plenty. Plenty.
Okay. Hey, we out here. Let's make it happen. I have two more questions. We're going to finish the interview. This next question speaks more to your value rather than your perception. All right? I believe Tiye Phoenix is the code, the cheat code to people to understand hip-hop. I say cheat code because the code is already there. It's up for you to find it. When the people finally find you, how are you going to unlock hip-hop to them?
If you listen to my music, it'll shift up something in your DNA. It'll flip the light switch on. Something gonna click.
Okay.
That's how I say that.
Hey, everybody, you're listening to Tiye Phoenix, a master in her own right. And not only that, all women, all amazing. Not half women, half amazing. All women, all amazing. All the time. Heritage hip hop. And here's the most important question I ask of every first interview, which means we have an open door policy. You're always welcome to come back to promote or anything you want to talk about. We have a talk show. We got all that stuff going on in Heritage Hip Hop. So like I said, I don't do phony relationships where you're hot in the moment and you can talk. Nah, door's always open, all right?
Thank you.
No doubt. But the most important question I asked in the first interview is this. 1,000 years from now, Ms. Phoenix, you're not going to be on this earth. And I don't wish anything on you and your family, especially in these present times of police brutality, sickness, and all types of disease, mental, physical, or spiritual. I don't wish nothing on you and your family and your loved ones. But 1,000 years from now, you're not going to be on this planet. And one day, somebody's going to go through the North Museum and they're going to see a beautiful collage on the wall. And it's going to say, press this button. And they're going to press a red button and your song is going to come up. And you're going to be introduced to people of generations who go into this museum to see this art. My question and most final important question in this interview is this. What is the legacy you left on the world that made it better because you created music?
How I co-signed freedom of artistic expression. How I merged metaphysics, cosmic understanding, whether through astrology, numbers, energy, frequency, the study of energy, how I merged that all into hip-hop, culture, and art.
So with that being said, everybody, Tiye Phoenix is not just a rapper. She's a person who ties all the things that we take for granted about life into the art to make us feel life in the beats and rhymes that she produces. With that being said, this is Karev with the amazing MC Tiye Phoenix on this episode of Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. We thank you for listening. We say peace, and we out.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, which is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to fix your credit report, come out of debt, and put yourself in a better financial situation, contact Transparent Credit Repair at www.transparentcreditrepair.com, or you can call them at 862-250-5122 and tell them Heritage Hip Hop referred you and get something very special in your transaction. Once again, everybody, Tiye Phoenix is a special MC. She is somebody who talks to the heart of the listener and also gives them perspective on life outside of their personal look on life. That's what MCs do. KRS-One said a rapper could rap to you, but an MC could talk about your life to you. And that's real. So check out her project, The Masters Program, which is nominated for the Heritage Hip Hop Awards Project of the Year Award. The Heritage Hip Hop Awards are tomorrow. That's right. This Saturday, August 29th, on Heritage Hip Hop YouTube, we will be streaming the Heritage Hip Hop Awards featuring myself, Karev. We'll have Big A of the Big A Show, and we'll have BQ of Fatty's Place. And we're hoping we get another person there, but if not, you'll have us three. And we will be talking about all the people who are doing awards. Not doing awards, I'm sorry. People who are nominated for awards, whether they're Artist of the Year, the Project of the Year, or the Govmatic Award of the Year. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, not only to experience the Heritage Hip Hop Awards, but to celebrate the awards with us. Tomorrow's a big day, and I can't wait. So with that being said, we're not going to prolong this. Thank you for tuning in and listening. This has been brought to you by www.heritagehiphop.com. Please become members to the website, and for the end of this month, we're going to be giving away our Jersey Series Play 2 playlist, and we have a special gift that comes with it. Follow us on all social media, Heritage Hip Hop YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, share, hit the notification bell when anything drops for Heritage Hip Hop. We cover live performances, live artist interviews, and also our podcast. Also, everybody, please support the team that makes this possible, Transparent Credit Repair. You can follow them on all social media and call them and fix your credit. You can also sign up for Transparent Credit Repair on heritagehiphop.com. Just scroll to the bottom of the screen. Shout out to Fatty's Place, our virtual assistant, FADDYSPLACE, who brings us our international talent and so supports the ladies who have talent in the industry. Shout out to Fire Jaws, our resident MC, who does promotion, placement, and marketing. If you're looking to get a song or something placed, hit up Firejaws on Instagram at FIREJAWS. Shout out to Lex Diamonds of Diamonds Entertainment LLC. That's DIEMENZ Entertainment LLC on Instagram. And shout out to Big A of The Big A Show, which season 2 is coming soon, but you can see season 1 right now on YouTube at AHYADAR on YouTube. Everybody listening, this is Karev. You can follow us. You can follow us everywhere. If you want to donate, we'll be taking donations, and we're going to build this platform because we bring your future favorite artists to you today. And with that being said, I say peace. Thank you for listening, and we out.